as you know, if you watch my previous video, if you have not, please do the right thing. I'm gonna link it somewhere in whichever corner I can find.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on this side and that. But anyway, I'm gonna link it so that you guys can see the whole thing. So like I said, we got this idea. Could I say we got this idea? So we got this mind-blowing moment after watching the documentary. Well, he watched it first and I watched it on the second day of
I'm
our
an influencer.
plant-based diet situation. I watched it then because I was like, okay, cool, let me actually go and see what it's all about. So he's just gonna explain since he watched it first. I watched it after, which was
why must I explain? We both watch it.
Yeah, but explain now.
But this is your channel.
So
really?
time's a ticking.
Okay. See, I even wrote down notes because I didn't even know.
That is my handwriting.
Okay, cool. That's not the point, right? Okay, can you talk about the documentary?
Go on.
Okay, so that documentary is Game Changers. This comes after watching the other documentary called What the Health, where this guy was just talking about the myths of all the food that we eat and
that guy, the problematic guy.
Yes, the guy who was just angry at the world.
Okay.
Okay, go watch the documentary, but
I'll just post it.
But personally, I did not like it. But yeah, basically the Game Changers is just speaking about the benefits of a plant-based diet. So it was this guy that got injured, MMA, mixed martial arts guy. He got injured, and then during his time now, that's when he went around speaking to many different people about plant-based diets and all the myths and misconceptions that come from that. And it's actually quite interesting to find out that some of the biggest, strongest guys are actually vegetarians or vegans.
Arnie, guys.
Terminator. Yes.
Is a vegetarian. Okay.
Lewis Hamilton.
Imagine. What's that guy? The world's strongest man.
Yeah, the guy who picked up like 700 kgs. The
strongest man is a vegan. Even let's take away vegan.
So there's like really a move away from meat-based diets to plant-based diets. So they just explain the myths behind that, the whole gym protein thing, that you must eat steaks and chicken and all of that just to build muscle. And the one mind-blowing thing was that if you go and look in nature, all the big animals like elephants, hippos,
even the cows that you eat,
yep, they're able to become and grow to be very big. Look at the animals that eat meat, lions and stuff, they're small and skinny. Okay,
lions are not skinny, I don't know.
Yeah, but compared to elephants and hippos and stuff,
makes sense.
Yeah, they're like smaller. Okay, let me not say small and skinny, but they're smaller than animals that eat vegetables.
Another thing that I liked, right? Another thing that I liked about the documentary was the fact that it had, I think for me, I truly believe things need to be proven, like scientifically. Like I'm one of those people. Like, don't come at me with facts that don't have proof. So if you're going to say, and I mean, it's not 100%, that's another thing that we need to put out there. It's not, maybe sample size could have been like 2 people or I didn't know. But the fact that there were some sort of facts that you can build up on for yourself.
I taught her that one. I taught her about sample size.
Okay, nobody asked you.
I just had to get that.
Nobody.
I just didn't get that.
So now I lost my train of thought.
Sample size may not be.
Okay, now I don't know what I was saying.
Oops.
Okay, pretty much like what I was saying was that you kind of build off. So you hear what they say and then you go and you research for yourself and find out more, because like I said, it's because I like things scientifically based, but after that I go and read more on what that person's idea was or what proofs he brought to people. So I think that's what I really like the most, because when it comes to vegetarian diets, I think another thing where it's always like, oh, it's healthy, and you know, that's it. You always get it's healthy, you need to do that. If you eat like meat, you're gonna get gout. If you do this, you're gonna do that. And it's like, how guys, you can't change someone's mindset
by scaring
them. Yeah, pretty much. You can't now change my mindset.
That's what like other guy did in that documentary.
Yeah, that documentary was not cute at all. Like, it was not okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's pretty much what made us go on this whole journey. Just try and figure out, okay, how is it going to make us feel as different individuals, and because
to see if it's a scam.
Also to see if it's a scam, there's that too, because hey, things might be looking pretty. Hey, Lewis Hamilton, yeah, Sharp has got the money, he's got the gym, he's got.
They could have paid him to do that
and all of that kind of stuff. So we just wanted to prove it for ourselves. So now we're just going to explain from our different points of view how we felt that the week went on different sides. So pretty much on my side, I think there's 2 or 3 main things that really jumped out at me. The first thing was my energy levels were much higher than they were before. Like yay,
Just got too much energy.
Yeah, like I had a lot of energy. Like my energy levels were much higher than
with
usual.
Your nappies.
You know, like I'm usually really fatigued. I'm usually like by the time it's 3 o'clock, I'm like guys. When is nighttime coming? I'm ready to sleep, you know, and I don't really nap in the afternoon, so I always have to push myself to go into the evening. But this time around it was much easier to be more energized during the day, being busy, even with workouts. Usually like my workouts vary from from 35 going up, 35 minutes going up, and usually when I'm like at 40 minutes, I'm hiving. My chest is on fire. I am burning. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm correct. But then in the past week, I was able to actually did 45-minute workouts back to back. You know, without, because other days my schedule is full, but I take rest days because I'm tired. Because I'm tired. But that really helped me out in that aspect, and the fact that I felt a little bit lighter in my system. I don't know if it was just me thinking that or
placebo.
But my system just felt much lighter than it was. And also I need you guys to realize that we don't eat that much meat. We just need to disclaimer that. We don't eat that much meat generally. You know. So it was for people who eat a much bigger diet, I'm not sure how that's gonna go for you, like a higher like meat, full protein diet. I don't know how that's gonna work for you, but because really we don't eat that much meat and cutting it out wasn't that difficult for me. Like I said, those are actually the 2 main things that made my life way easier.
Now I'm supposed to talk now.
Yeah.
Hey, giving me the grade. Okay. For me also it's just a nice change. Just to eat something different. No, I'm trying to be serious. Okay,
sorry.
Cool. My hands are free.
Carry on.
Okay, so basically it's also a similar type of thing where like you just feel less bloated, you have more energy, quicker recovery. Yeah, it's just
more energy.
Yeah, but then I'm always like this, like I don't know what more energy feels like, but you just feel your body just feels different. I don't even know how to describe it. Like your body just feels a little different without all the meat. But I guess also one thing I must say, maybe because it was more of a balanced diet, because as much as you can just say plant-based, most of the time you just eat starch and protein and kind of forget about the vitamins and all of that. So the other thing that like
see the chef, I'm just saying, carry on.
Hey, the other thing is like now we had more vegetables and all of that, so maybe that could be the thing, that like the fact that there were more vegetables in the diet, not necessarily about cutting out the meat, but the fact that the number of vegetables I ate was more, that also could have had an effect, because I was supposed to talk about this week then.
Yeah.
Okay, because like if you look at this past week now, right, when we returned to eating meat,
we got Nando's on the Sunday.
It was Father's Day.
I'm just saying.
It was Father's Day.
People just wait for the jugular. Straight.
So you're just like no meat for 1 week, and you're just gonna eat all you can eat.
I'm telling you.
The whole chicken. Anyway, going back to what I was saying. Now the thing is, when we went back to meat, we still kept the vegetable intake high. So it's not, I still feel the same as I did during the vegetarian week, because there were still more vegetables as well. So I think the key here is to make sure that you actually balance your diet more than anything, because I think most of us think we're eating healthy, but then our diet is not balanced. So I think we must balance our diet. I'm not a nutritionist, by the way, but
these are just facts, like me facts.
Yeah, like
we facts.
Like it's, you can code me, but I'm not a nutritionist.
I was actually gonna like mention that before. He said we're not bashing meat at all. Like please realize that we're not like don't eat meat. No.
We're also not saying like
we're not saying don't eat meat. We're not saying become vegetarian or whatever.
Or if you're vegetarian, you're better than everyone else.
You're not better than everybody else.
We're just the same.
We're just the same. Like it's mostly about a plant, like a full plant-based diet.
A balanced diet.
Balanced diet. It's mostly about a balanced diet. I think that's the takeaway that we can take from this, that we had so many different kinds of vegetables, that have different minerals in minerals. That have different kinds of minerals in them. So that's, I think, for us for the past 2 weeks, it's been good. It's been good because we went from plant-based, we went back into eating meat, but with a higher,
So when your parents say eat your vegetables,
it's
eat
the
your
truth,
vegetables,
guys. It's the truth.
But then, okay, one thing I can say about being vegetarian and all of that,
The options.
the most important thing I can say is knowing how to make the food. Because most of the time when people speak about being vegetarian, like if you look at the kind of food that they eat, it's not really inspiring for...
I'm not about to throw jabs, so I'm going to keep quiet.
No, please hold yourself. We still want them to watch the video. But like most of the time the vegetarian food is not really as appetizing and as inviting. But like once you make food more appetizing and more inviting, you actually realize that you will enjoy it. So if the food just looks bad, like even if it's meat, even if whatever the food is, if it looks bad, you're not going to eat it. But the moment it looks appetizing and it also tastes good, because I think sometimes some of these vegetarian things, wow, it's like you're drinking medicine.
It's like taking a Brussels sprout, for example. Nobody likes that because everyone's like, oh, it tastes so bad, it tastes like this. But if you make it properly, believe
so
me.
Yes, when you decide to be vegetarian, you should be creative and try and make your food actually appetizing. Don't eat it because it's healthy. Like I said, don't eat it like medicine that you needed to live, but like eat it so that you actually enjoy what you're eating.
Yep. Okay, so another thing that we need to look at when it comes to a plant-based diet is how much it costs.
Quality ingredients are important. Trust me.
It's not cheap. It's not the cheapest thing. But hey, I don't even know what to say. There's no but. It's not cheap.
No, but what you can do is you literally shop around.
Yeah.
Look for sales, look for deals. Don't just settle for what you find in the shop.
I think we
And when it comes to fruit and vegetables, really try to avoid supermarkets because their quality is not that great as well. Go to like fruit and veg. There's no fruit and veg. It does not exist. But then like there are fruit and veg shops. So just think of places like Food Lovers, Carrera, Fresh House. Those are the ones we know.
Yeah, those ones.
Even like an actual market. Too bad like it's like lockdown, but like you see like the people downtown used to sell very good quality vegetables. So you really need to get good quality ingredients because that is also going to help with the taste.
True, like you said, shopping around as well, even with supermarkets, don't sit. You go to Pick and Pay, for example, and then you find something is like what, 40 rand. Don't just look at that. Maybe try go to, okay, if I go to Spar, how much am I getting it for? Or if I go to Checkers, how much can I get it for? Just try and shop around even when you're using supermarkets, because just because, for example, it's from this specific shop doesn't mean it's the best. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth, It's how it is. It is what it is. You just need to shop around. Like, go to every single supermarket that you can to find all the good quality stuff. But like I said, it's not the cheapest diet, especially if you're going to want to get like a wide variety of different kinds of stuff. And also doing some things.
Go on, it's fine.
Some things are not at certain shops. So for example, when you're looking for kale, we had a big struggle looking for kale. We knew, okay, if we go to Korea, we're going to find it. We had a big struggle looking for, what were we looking for? It's baby spinach, what was it?
I don't know.
But there are some things many things that you can't find. Like even like, for example, something like quinoa, we bought it at Spar for 65 rand, but when we saw it it was Food Lovers, it was 100 and something rand.
Yep, 120.
See, think when you buy ingredients, it's gonna help you out. This is just for general now, like generally when you're shopping
even in life,
please.
Life lessons. We also provide life lessons.
You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much our 2 cents in terms of health. I might actually do a health segment here and there as weeks.
Am I invited?
No. You might host your own, but not together.
Why?
We'll roll out.
This is fun.
Okay, so when I roll out health segments, I'm going to try to do that actually as time goes by, so that we are all eating healthy, because when you eat healthy, you feel good and everything's good. So that is us done.
Yes, I'm done. Bye guys. Go meet again.